welcome to the deep dive. Investing can feel, well, pretty chaotic, lots of noise, lots of movement. But today we're looking at Charlie Munger's approach, which was surprisingly, maybe refreshingly simple. Getting wealthy by just thinking correctly. So our mission here is to unpack the three core principles behind this Munger mindset. It's really more than investing, isn't it? It's almost a life philosophy.
Absolutely. And it's interesting how it grew out of traditional value investing, but then evolved. It shifted the focus away from just finding dirt cheap assets, the old way, towards long-term quality, and maybe most importantly, really focusing on avoiding big mistakes. That was key for Munger.
Okay, let's jump into that first big shift. Rule number one. Buy wonderful businesses at fair prices. Now, Munger and Buffett famously ditched the old cigar butt idea, buying mediocre companies just because they were super cheap. For you listening, why would they abandon something that sounds like such a bargain? If it's cheap, right?
Well, yeah, but it comes down to opportunity cost. They figured out the real payoff wasn't in, like, squeezing one last puff out of a dying business for a small gain. The time and energy spent on that mediocre company, that's time you could have been compounding your money in something truly great.
Okay. So define wonderful business then. What does that actually mean in Munger's world?
It means the business has to have what he called a durable competitive advantage, a strong economic moat. Think about things like powerful brands, network effects, maybe high costs for customers to switch away, something that protects it. That durability lets it survive downturns, maybe even thrive. So quality becomes, way more important than just the sticker price.
Right. But just buying quality isn't enough if you stumble into disaster elsewhere. Which brings us to maybe Munger's most famous idea. Rule 2, the power of inversion. Instead of asking, how do I succeed, he flipped it. He asked, what do I need to avoid so I don't fail? It sounds almost negative, but it's powerful.
It's fundamentally defensive. It's about risk management at its core. Our sources really emphasize avoiding those big catastrophic errors. Number 1, permanent loss of capital. Gone forever. And how does that happen? Usually by chasing fads you don't understand, getting involved with dishonest management, or maybe using too much leverage. Complex stuff. Munger basically thought if you just avoid doing really dumb things, you're already way ahead. Success kind of takes care of itself if you don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Avoiding those temptations, especially when everyone else seems to be winning, takes incredible discipline. And humility too, right? Which leads nicely into Rule 3. Stay within your circle of competence. Define that circle. What's the trick to actually sticking to it?
Yeah, that's the tough part. The trick really is knowing what you don't know and being okay with that. It means you have to honestly define the industries, the types of businesses where you genuinely have deep knowledge, you understand the competition, you trust the management, you see the long-term picture, and then you invest only there.
And ignore everything else, even the hot stuff.
Pretty much. You have to ignore maybe 99% of what's out there, even when you feel that FOMO, that fear of missing out. Discipline is everything here. Munger knew great opportunities are rare.
Okay, so we have focus on quality, Rule 1, actively avoid stupidity, Rule 2, and know your limits, Rule 3.
If we pull all that together, what's the final piece? The execution step that Munger stressed turns these ideas into actual long-term wealth.
That brings us to what you might call Rule 4, though it's more about execution. The big money is in the waiting. Patience. Munger understood that compounding works its magic over decades. The real growth isn't linear, it explodes later on.
So buying is important, but the holding is where the real wealth is built.
Exactly. Once you've done the hard work, followed the rules, found that wonderful business at a fair price, the hardest part psychologically is often just sitting tight. You have to be prepared, literally, to do nothing for years. Let time and the business do the work. No constant tinkering. So the Munger mindset really boils down to patience, intense discipline, and real integrity in how you think and act. Find those rare, high-probability moments when the odds are truly stacked in your favor, and only then act decisively. Bet big when you have that conviction.
Right. And maybe a final thought for you listening, connecting this all together. If Munger's right, and a huge part of success is just avoiding catastrophic errors, avoiding stupidity, how much of your own time and focus and investing in your career, anywhere really, should be dedicated to just that? Reducing errors, avoiding pitfalls, versus constantly chasing the next new, potentially risky opportunity. Munger's whole philosophy suggests that playing strong defense is actually the winning strategy in